What's going on, family? Samuel Genus here with Predict Your Business, where I help entrepreneurs wear less hats and grow their business in a more predictable way. I'm coming to you live from Miami, downtown Miami, Florida. We're about to go for our little walk. What I want to talk to you about in this video is the importance of being in an environment that motivates you, being in an environment that pushes you, an environment that demands more from you. For example, perhaps, being in a hotel or a motel and they're only charging $75 a night, right? And so they're not demanding as much as some other hotels. And oftentimes the hotel that charges more, not in all cases, but the hotel that charges more tend to give you more. Better views, better service, better comfort, better, lifestyle, whatever, I forget the term, but, some people are offering lifestyle, privileges and things of that nature. And so it's easy to get stuck in this mindset of, I don't want to pay more. This mindset of, I don't want to spend more. I want more, but I'm not willing to spend more. Don't ask more of me. But I think it's important to not have that mentality. I'm not saying just, spend your money irresponsibly, but I'm saying put yourself in environments that do demand more from you, that requires more from you. Because in order for you to survive in that environment, guess what? You have to have a mindset change. It's easy to ignore or stay away from environments that want more from you because you haven't adjusted your mind to go there. For those of you who want to know where we're staying at the Fortune House, really nice hotel here in downtown Florida. We like taking pictures and recording where we stay because we stay at so many different places, and we like to record it. We're building memories, we're building experiences together. But your environment is very important because your environment will challenge you. Some people, they prefer environments that don't demand more from them. They want easy street, and so they stay away from environments that push them, that require more from them. And then they'll make excuses and say why they don't want to be there. They're like, oh, they charge too much, or they want too much, or, they're taking too much, or I got to do too much. And they're saying that because basically the environment where much is given, much is going to be required, right? There's an old proverb that says that. Oh, it's kind of windy out here. Hopefully you all can still hear me. But basically, where much is given, much is required. And so you want more, you got to pay more, you got to do more. And so, like here in downtown Miami, the cost of living is higher. But look at where you're at. You're in downtown Miami. You're by the water. You got good weather just about all year long. So the cost of living is going to be higher. You're surrounded by money. Just about everything is more expensive here. And so it's going to cost to live here. And so some people, they avoid this. They're like, I can't deal with this. It's too much. But don't let stuff like that scare you. I'm not telling you to be irresponsible. I'm just saying, don't let stuff like this scare you. Rise to the occasion, right? Use it as a challenge. Let it challenge you. Let it strengthen you. Let it motivate you. Be like, yeah, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to have some fun, and I'm going to do my best to be able to enjoy this, once a month or a few times out of the year, and not have to worry about it. See, when you have a successful mindset, these things won't get to you, because you got success on your mind. And the more you think positive, and the more you position your business, and the more you surround yourself around what you're trying to achieve. So I'm trying to reach a certain level in my business. So I can't just be around in, low income neighborhoods. I can't just be around ghettos, and I got to be around nice things. Don't get me wrong, I could rock with any environment. You can put me in some rough spots. I was just in Jamaica, island, and there's some pretty rough spots that I'm sure most of my audience, you wouldn't want to walk those environments. But there I was, in some of those environments, walking, enjoying, the culture, the heritage, the neighborhood. But I also know what I want, and you have to know what you want. And so you have to put yourself in the environment that is going to push you, because there are some environments they're not going to push you. They're not going to demand more from you. And if you're not careful, it'll make you a little bit lazy. You know what I mean? It'll make you a little bit, there's my wife back there. She's shooting her little video too. Not her little video, but I'm trying to get out of the habit of saying little. Somebody said, you shouldn't say that. So she's shooting her video. So I'm I'm ahead of her shooting my video. We're both putting in some work. But basically you need to be in an environment. For those of you who want to know, she has a channel called Women Are Special. She talks about a lot of women issues and stuff like that. So check her out, Women Are Special. I think it's facebook.com/Women Are Special. You can go on YouTube and type in Women Are Special. You want to be in a location that will challenge you. So what? You got to pay an extra $30. So what? You got to pay an extra $250. You have to allow that scenario to motivate you. You want to move up, you're going to have to pay up. And in order to pay up, guess what? Your business has to be better. You have to be able to generate more in your business. Now, some people may say, well, when is enough enough? Well, there will definitely be a cap, when enough is enough. But all I'm simply saying is, don't let these things scare you. Don't let these things push you in a corner and say, okay, well, I'm not going to stay here because, it's too much. Or I'm not going to stay here because they want more from me. No, give them more. Put in the work. Let it motivate you. Experience things you have never experienced before. Because when you have that experience, guess what? It will serve as like a motivator. There are places that my children feel uncomfortable in. And when I say uncomfortable in like they'll deal with it, but they don't want it for the rest of their life. And the reason why they don't want it for the rest of their life is because my wife and I have given them a certain lifestyle. So there's certain things that they're just not going to settle for. And that's only because they was exposed to something better, something greater. That's basically what I'm trying to talk about is put yourself in a position that's better. Even though that better environment may require more from you, you'll be amazed at the way it increases your motivation. It increases your drive. It increases your dedication. Just like when we got off the plane from Jamaica, we could have stayed at, a Motel 6, on the side of 95 South or something, and pay like $65 a night. But I wanted to experience, the downtown Miami area, and I wanted to experience in a more high quality way. So what? You got to pay for valet parking. Who cares? So what? You got to spend more for the room. If that's what you want. See, I already know what I want. Like, that's what I want. So I'm not going to let that bother me. That's my motivation. It's like, stay in places where you're headed. Some people say, well, you shouldn't, rent a car, You shouldn't rent a Bentley, or you shouldn't rent a Rolls Royce, or you shouldn't rent a Lamborghini because you're faking, because you don't really own one. Well, think about it this way. The average person in your neighborhood can't rent a Bentley in the first place. If a person's renting a Bentley, they've obviously got something going on where they're able to even afford it. That's what I'm trying to get to. And if that's what they're doing for their motivation, if those kind of things helps them kind of push themselves and give them that experience that they want to remember and that will push them when things get hard. Sometimes when things get hard, it's good to remember better places you've been to, better things you was doing. This is a nice view right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's just nice. I just love looking at gorgeous views and water, palm trees. It's very peaceful, yet at the same time, it's very motivating for me. It makes me come outside because I'm the type of person I could just work indoors. But sometimes I be indoors so much. But being in Florida, man, It's hard for me to stay indoors, man. I'll bring my laptop out. I'll set up a whole working station on the balcony, at the beach, whatever, because it just pulls you outside. I think that's probably why I like being in Florida. Grant Cardone said, when you make $10,000 a month, you ain't trying to go back down to $4,000 a month. You feel me? When you experience a really good restaurant, you're not really trying to settle for a bad restaurant. Who wants to go backwards? It's like seriously, who really wants to go back to living in a cave the way our ancestors used to do? Right? Almost all of civilization was at one point living in a cave, living in some kind of a tent. But look at how people are living today, you know? Who wants to go back to living in a cave when you got all this? And so Grant Cardone was basically saying in so many words, like, hey, when you experience better, you're not trying to go back to something lower than or something less than. And I agree with that. I agree with that. When you experience better, you don't want to go back to something worse or less than. And this is one of the reasons why I like to put myself in environments like this. It's a motivation for me. It's like a drug. It motivates me to be like, okay, Sam, stay on your grind. Even if I'm having a bad day, I got pictures of me lying on the beach in Jamaica, I got pictures of me lying on the beach in Miami or in Fort Lauderdale or Clearwater Beach, I got pictures of me chilling in Texas. I got pictures of me at different environments that I enjoyed, having experiences that I enjoyed. And those experiences, they serve as a drug. Not a drug in a negative sense, but like in a positive sense. It's like, it's a motivation. It's an encouragement. It's a, hey, life will not always be like this. In other words, life will not always be bad days, right? Because at the end of the day, life is made up of seasons. And so you're going to have some good seasons. You're going to have some bad seasons. Don't let a negative season ruin you, And so I keep pictures of different environments, So like I record when I'm places like this, I record it because I'm eventually going to get a second home here or an apartment or something because this is what I like. This is the lifestyle I want to live. I want to be able to be here in Florida during certain times of the year. And I don't want to be here for a week. I want to be here for a couple of months at a time, I want to be able to send my family and my loved ones and say, hey, stay at my second home in Florida, stuff like that. So I put myself in these environments because it motivates me. Yes, it requires more of me, but guess what? Where much is given, much is going to be required. If you want more, then you got to give more. It's just that simple. So put yourself in an environment that demands more of you. Put yourself in an environment that requires more of you. Put yourself in an environment where you have to give more, right? And use that as fuel, as motivation to get you where you got to go. You know what I mean? To get you where you got to go. Get used to having nice things. Like, I'm serious. Like, get used to having nice things. And when you are going through a bad time and you have to, get used to having nice things, but at the same time, don't flip out when you're experiencing something bad. Be happy for the good times. Be happy when you're crushing it. Be happy, when you're having the time of your life. And when you're having a bad time or when you're having a rough time or a time that's, that's kind of painful, draw from those happy times. Draw from, hey, I remember when I was over there. I remember when I was over here and we was having a great time. I want more of that. And let that be your fuel. You can take $1 million from a fool and he won't get it back. But you can take $1 million from a wise person, from someone who built their business from the ground up. Take it all away. Trust me, he'll get it back, right? He'll get it back. And so use this. Put yourself in an environment that demands more from you. Don't cry like a little baby and be like, oh, I got to pay this, I got to pay that. Oh, they want this, they want that. Stop crying over $1. Stop crying over $10. Stop crying over $50, right? Put your head in the game. Do what you got to do. If you want better stuff, it's going to cost you. You're going to have to give more. You're going to have to grind more. It's going to require more of you. So don't baby out. You know what I mean? Don't baby out. Don't start crying over it. Do what you got to do and work hard for it. And when you get it, enjoy it. Like, literally enjoy it. Like, we're staying at the hotel right up here. It's really nice. Like, we're having the time of our life. We're enjoying the good views. We're enjoying the time together. We're enjoying working. Like, to me, work is play for me. It's like I enjoy working just like I enjoy being at the beach, you know? I enjoy working just like I enjoy being at a party. Like, it's not even work to me anymore. It's just the way I live, you know what I mean? And so I want that for you as well. Change your mindset, put yourself in an environment that demands more from you. Put yourself in an environment that requires more from you. And don't cry about it. Just give it, do what you gotta do, and let that be your motivational fuel to get you where you need to be. Feel me? All right, this is Samuel Genus with Predict Your Business. I will see you in the next video. Take care.